Are you for reparations? The Democrats are pushing for reparation for black people. Are you for reparation for black people?
Sounds good to me. I guess you're against it. Why?
Are you for it?
I think that right now it's probably a better idea, just tactically, to work on narrowing the racial wealth gap with universal social programs.
I'm black and slow, so I need a yes or no first. Ben Burgess, are you for reparation for black people? You are a socialist.
Yeah, absolutely.
And how and why did you become? Have you always been a socialist?
I've been a socialist for a long time. I think that the economic system that we've got right now isn't working for most people. You see evidence of that all over the place. We have the richest country in the world. Millions of people, still don't have health care or have health care they can't afford to use.
So is the system we have now working for you?
Irrelevant.
How is that irrelevant?
It's totally irrelevant because because whether or not it works for me has nothing to do with whether it's unjust. I could be wealthy and successful much more than I am, and it would still remain true that if there were millions of people in the richest country in the world who were homeless, millions of people who didn't have health care, et cetera, then that system was unjust. Right always likes to play this game that if you criticize capitalism and you're poor, it's because you're envious of other people's money.
I want to go back to my question, Ben. The system that we have now, is it working for you?
Why do you think that's relevant, Jesse?
Well, just answer the question. I'll tell you why. Is it working for you?
It's working okay for me. It could be working better. Now tell me why it's relevant.
So are you saying yes, it is working for you?
Let's say for the sake of argument, yes. Sure. Why is it relevant?
And so if it's working for you, why don't you teach others how to make it work for them rather than setting them up to use them for a personal gain?
Well, there's a massive logical leap there from the premise that it's working for me to the conclusion that therefore anybody who wanted to or anybody who did the same things that I do, that would work for them. That doesn't follow. Different people have different advantages in life. Just because some people are successful within a system, that doesn't mean everybody could be successful. Even if everybody,
but you're still not telling me, Ben. You're not telling me why.
Even if every individual could be successful, it still wouldn't follow that every individual could be successful. So
Ben,
this idea that mobility is a solution to structural,
I ask you, why don't you teach those who don't know apparently how you are doing it, how you do it to cause it to work for you? Why don't you teach them that? And then see what the outcome is. You don't know if it's going to work for them or not because you have not taught them your way, the way you're doing it. Why not? Why haven't you taught them that?
Why? Okay, so I want to be really clear. So what you're suggesting here is that I switch from teaching philosophy to teaching business, personal life coaching, something like that.
What I'm suggesting is that you said this system is working for you. And so rather than trying to turn these people into little socialists, so that you can use them for your own personal gain, why not teach them?
Wait a second. How is that my personal gain?
Because the whole purpose of socialism is to use people for your own personal gain, to gain power and wealth.
No, it isn't.
Rather than using them, setting them up to use them. Why not teach them what you know?
What you're saying doesn't make the slightest bit of sense. You're saying two things that can't both be true. You're saying that capitalism is working just fine for me. You said
it's working for you.
You're also saying that by encouraging people to be socialists, I'm using them for my personal gain.
That's the only reason for socialism.
It's working so well for me. What do I have to gain from moving to socialism?
Do you believe that people are so dumbed down and lazy that you need to encourage free stuff for them? They don't have the ability to strive in life and succeed as you have done and are doing. Do you believe most people don't have that in them? They need you to take care of them?
No, not at all. I don't think that people are
then
dumb.
Why are you offering them that?
I think that right now, human potential is quashed because we have a system where people are under the thumb of bosses because people are terrified to lose their job because they lose their health insurance. Same deal with college tuition. That if you lose the job right now, you're worried that you wouldn't be able to send your kids to school.
I want to move on because of time. Do you work for someone else right now?
You said that at the beginning of the segment,
right?
So you know the answer to that question.
And what's the answer?
Yes, you when you introduced me, you said I did work for somebody else.
So are you terrified of losing your? Are you terrified of losing your job or losing your health care?
Well, I am in much less fear of that than a lot of other people are for a few reasons, one of which is that I have a union, right? There's a faculty union where I am, and unionized employees are have much more protection than non-unionized employees. But of course, no, not everybody has the same options. That's just a statement of facts.
So you're saying that most people are so dumb and lazy or mentally off that they can't do what you're doing?
No, that is total nonsense. Those are the words you put in my mouth. That's not something that I believe.
Are you for reparations? The Democrats are pushing for reparation for black people. Are you for reparation for black people?
Sounds good to me. I guess you're against it. Why?
Are you for it?
I think that right now it's probably a better idea just tactically to work on narrowing the racial wealth gap with universal social programs that would benefit everybody but would disproportionately benefit minorities because they have been the most brutalized by this system. But I'm not against reparations. I understand you're against them, though. Can you tell me why?
I'm black and slow, so I need a yes or no first. Are you for reparation for black people?
Sure, let's say yes, Jesse.
No. Let's all do a yes. Let's say yes. I want to know: Ben Burgess, are you for reparation for black people?
I think you'll find that sometimes issues are too complicated for a one-syllable answer. Now, if what you mean is, do I think that reparations...
Ben, I'm quite clear what I mean. I ask, do you think, are you, Ben Burgess, in favor of reparations for black people? Yes or no?
Do I think that reparations would be justified?
That's not my question.
Well... If that's what you mean, the answer is yes.
That's not my question. That's not what I mean.
Do I think the best strategy for narrowing the wealth?
That's not my question. How are you a professor of philosophy and you can't even answer simple questions?
Because your simple question is misleading. It's a false dilemma. Either what you're saying is a logical fallacy. You're saying
I haven't said anything. It was a question. Are you for reparation for black people?
You don't think something could be a loaded, misleading question? You think those are impossible? Those never exist?
Right. It doesn't.
Okay.
To a deceiver, it's hard for them because they don't want to answer the truth.
Or for somebody who's capable of thinking more complicated thoughts that, yes, I totally agree with this, or no, I totally disagree with this. Sometimes the truth is complicated.
Are you for the wall, the big, beautiful wall going up around the borders to stop the illegal aliens from coming in?
Absolutely not. You are, I guess. So, why?
So illegal aliens are coming in. And as you know, Black America,
nonsense, actually.
Black America first and foremost. They are ended up in the urban areas first, which affects black people, and they're taking jobs and education, health care. You want black people to have free health care, right? They're coming in and they're ended up in it. Let me finish, Ben. Let me finish. They are ended up in the public school system where black people are getting free education. They're running blacks out of their communities. Black people are being affected first and foremost. Do you care that black people are being affected first and foremost in a negative way by illegal aliens? Does that bother you?
The premise of your question is just false. Undocumented immigrants don't.
That's not my question, Ben.
Higher rate.
Does that bother you?
They also pay in taxes because undocumented immigrants who work in the system use fake social security numbers.
Ben, you're running again.
Taxes, but they don't take services. So what you said is the opposite of the truth.
Ben, you're running. You're a deceiver. You're running. You are a professor of philosophy at Rutgers, right? And yet you have no logic. You don't even know where it comes from.
Oh, really? I have no logic because I keep on trying to explain what's wrong with your arguments, and you keep talking over me and claiming you're not making arguments. You're just asking questions as if you didn't know that there was such a thing as a loaded question. I keep trying to focus on the arguments, and you're trying to do this petty schoolyard taunt about beta males.
Beta!